Be honest with yourself. How many times in the last month have you changed something in your aquarium? And more importantly, why did you do it? What exactly are you hoping to accomplish by constantly changing things in your aquarium? I've set up something like 80 aquariums and ponds in the last 3 years alone. And even with all that, I'm not always sure what it is I'm looking for. I just keep tweaking things, searching, chasing something I can't quite name, some kind of identity in the aquarium that I want to find. And many times I've stopped to ask myself, what could that possibly be? So in this video, I want to explore 2 things. First, what is the identity of a fish tank? And second, what are we actually searching for when we constantly make changes? Now, as has become a bit of a tradition on this channel, we're going to bring in a little abstract philosophy, a paradox that's been debated for thousands of years, one that supposedly has no answer, but today we're going to try to answer it. There's an ancient Greek myth known as the Ship of Theseus. As the story goes, during Theseus's long travels, the ship began to age. The timbers rotted, the planks wore down. One by one they were replaced, until eventually every single piece of the ship had been swapped out for a new one. So the question is the Ship of Theseus still the Ship of Theseus, or has it become something else entirely? Now think about your aquarium. When you change things, when you tinker with the layout, swap plants, add new rockwork, or shift the scape, are you changing its identity? Or is it even the same tank? And why does this even matter? What is the identity of an aquarium on day 1 versus day 100? And even beyond what we change, aquariums change themselves. The plants grow, the fish mature, the substrate ages. I've had moments where I leave for just a few days, come back, and the tank feels different. The fish have grown and the plants have exploded with new growth. Sometimes I wonder, did I come home to the same tank I left? Or has it become something new in my absence? So I want to do the impossible here and take a crack at answering this paradox. Here's my take. The identity is in the fish keeper. The Ship of Theseus remains his ship because he's the one sailing it, caring for it, keeping up with it. So too, an aquarium holds its identity because of you are the one who built it, shaped it, dreamed it into being. The Ship of Theseus is the Ship of Theseus, so long as Theseus is the owner. Try saying that 10 times fast. Now maybe that sounds a little abstract, so let's bring in another thinker, writer, philosopher, and director, David Foster Wallace, who once said, "What you worship will consume you until it becomes you, until it owns you." Let that sink in. When we care for our aquariums day in, day out, they become part of us. They reflect our hopes, our moods, our need for order or color or life. They don't just become something we own, they become an extension of who we are. And maybe that's why sitting in front of our aquariums brings us such a deep sense of peace, because we're watching something grow and shift and adapt just like we do, just like we always have. Have you ever been the same person from one moment to the next? Or to quote another Greek philosopher, no man ever steps into the same river twice. And yet we try. We try to freeze moments, to capture balance, to build a tank that finally feels finished. But what if the reason we can't stop changing things is because we're not meant to? What if the aquarium isn't a finished product? It's a reflection of a life always in motion, of a self that is never done becoming. That brings me to another thought. Carl Jung once said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." Maybe our aquariums are always changing because we are always changing. Maybe the search for the perfect tank is really the search for our own identity. We try one thing, then another, we experiment, we rearrange, but underneath it all, we're asking, who am I really? So when I say you don't know what you're doing with your aquarium, Maybe what I'm really saying is you're still figuring out who you are. So, if you want to know the identity of your aquarium, here's the answer. It's you. Because it's owned by you, cared for by you, tended to and loved by you. And if you want to know your own identity, well, that's a different question entirely. But maybe it starts with asking, what do I worship? What do I allow to consume me? That's where you'll find yourself. And here's the thing, you might not have a clear plan, but you might be changing too much. You might feel like you're just throwing ideas at the glass and hoping something sticks. But maybe that's okay, because maybe the value isn't in arriving at some perfect, final version of your tank. Maybe the value is in the process, in the wandering, in the curiosity. Your aquarium doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be real. It just needs to be yours. I hope this helps you reflect a little more deeply on what it is you're trying to create in your tank and what you're experiencing through it. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. What do you think your aquarium identity is? And what have you discovered about yourself while looking into it? I recently made another video about aquarium's effects on anxiety and depression. If you liked this one, then I'm sure you'll enjoy that one, so you should watch that one right there. But thanks so much for watching. Fishlist out.